When we take care of our pets, we feed them and we love them, and we become the most important people in their lives, especially if we're talking about dogs. But sometimes it happens that the owner dies, leaving their loyal pet behind. So what can these pets do? This incident happened in Turkey. A dog named Caesar proved that friendship doesn't have to end, even after death. Mehmed İlham was Caesar's owner. The man had long retired and had lots of free time, so he spent his days walking with his pet. Caesar was also the man's best friend, whom he could entrust with all his secrets. Mehmed couldn't imagine his life without his smart and loyal four-legged friend, and worried that something might happen to the dog, because he was already old. But one day, something terrible happened to Mehmed İlham. He became paralyzed. Caesar became even more important to him. And a while later, the man got admitted into a hospital in Bursa. The doctors told Mehmed that he only had a few days left. The dog had to stay home, but refused to eat. Caesar probably felt that he would never get to see his owner again. Mehmed İlham died after a long illness. His entire family mourned the unfathomable loss. Caesar was the first to meet the owner's coffin, which was brought home before the funeral. The dog even took part in the funeral procession and followed the owner's coffin all the way to the cemetery. No one could approach the dog until my father's body was lowered into the grave, said Ali, Mehmed's son. Only a few pictures were taken that day, but they show how sad the poor dog was. Caesar sat silently next to the coffin, with his head bowed down to the ground. Ali took the dog home to take care of him. Caesar was quiet and obedient. But at some point, Ali began to notice that his pet was going somewhere in the morning. When it became a regular thing, the man decided to follow Caesar and find out where he went. Caesar was always obedient, so this strange behavior had Ali worried. When the man decided to follow the dog, he had no idea how far they'd be going. They went through almost the entire city to its outskirts, but Caesar kept running confidently towards the place only he knew. Ali soon realized what was happening, so he wasn't all that surprised when they came to the grave of his father, Mehmed İlham. The cemetery workers say that Caesar comes here every morning to visit my father's grave. The loyal dog couldn't survive the loss of his beloved owner, but fortunately Ali and all members of his family gave Caesar much love and affection. We hope that together they will be able to get through this difficult time. And our next story is a bit less tragic, but also is about true loyalty. This incident happened in the Turkish Trabzon, which is on the Black Sea coast. The owner of a loyal dog named Banyuk was hospitalized. Ever since then, the dog has been waiting outside the hospital for his owner's return. The man's relatives tried to take Banyuk home with them, but he came back to the hospital every time. The man was discharged from the hospital after 6 days of treatment and returned home with his four-legged friend. And the loyal dog became famous all over the world as the international media outlets wrote about him. Well, that's all for today, friends. Do you think all dogs are so loyal? Or maybe it depends on the breed?